When this pivot point is being made, then you will know that this pivot point will be made. When this pivot point is being made, then you will know that this pivot point will be made. And when this pivot point is being made, then you will know that this pivot point will be made. So let's start this video so that you can understand how you can figure it out yourself. Hello friends, so today I have brought an even better setup for you. As I had committed to you that I will bring more setups for you. So today I have brought a very good setup which people are selling for 10,000 rupees INR. But our target is that we can give you as many free setups as possible, with which you can make some money from the market and can specialize yourself. It's not that this is only setup. You also go and try something on the tool and you will also get some setups. So let's start now. So first of all, we will see the setup on the TCS. So as I told you, we will go here and select the symbol. We will go to the symbol search and select the TCS. After selecting the TCS, go to the filter angle and here we will check the sun. We will do it in geocentric as we generally do. It will download the data for the TCS. In this, we will see the sun true node. In Hindi, we call the true node as Rahu Gray or the north node. So generally, the IT-related stocks have the impact of Rahu and Uranus. So we will see it from the sun true node. If you want to see it, you can see it with Uranus. So now let's see what the setup is. The setup is the same as what happens in astrology. Present is what? Present is basically the repetition of historical events. So Gan said that the present is repetition of history. You have to find the cycle. So we have made the setup for this. It exists in the market. We have figured it out by looking at the charts. So the setup is very simple. As I explained to you, wherever there are pivot points, as I told you, the angle of the sun true node came here. What is the angle on a daily basis? And you can get this angle for the next 100 years. Now what we have to do is wherever there are pivot points, like a pivot point was made here, a pivot point was made here. So on the basis of this pivot point, we can predict the next pivot point. Like it was made here, so the next high or low will be made when same angle comes. If you look at this sun true node, then you will see that it moves in the shape of a triangle. In the shape of a triangle, first it is 0 degrees, then it goes up to 180. Here you see, then it is less than 180. Then again it comes to 0 degrees, then it goes. In this way, the angle of your sun true node moves. We will see the historical data, it is in the shape of a triangle. So now what is the setup? Wherever there is a pivot point, you can easily identify the pivot point. So I highlight the pivot point here. So this is your pivot point. Now if you look at the angle on this pivot point, you have to look at the angle here. When I go with this curve, it is of 155 degrees. So now what do we have to do for this setup? Wherever it was moving from 180 to 0 degrees, when it became 155, so now when the next 155 comes, means when it goes from 0 to 180 degrees, whenever the next 155 comes, then we have to see that the pivot point is generally there. So now let's do a little back test and see. And the rule of trading is the same. If the trend is going on, if it breaks low, then we will initiate a short trade. If the downtrend is going on, if it breaks high, and our angle has occurred, then we will take a long trade. And the accuracy in this is 80 accuracy. This will show you the trade on plus or minus 1 day. So first of all, this is checked at 155 degrees. It was 155 that day. Now our market will continue to run up to this point. It came to 0 on April 20th. Now on April 20th, I have to see that whenever the next 155 comes, then I have to be ready that the market will try to give a pivot point. Okay. So you see 155, now you go to the future, where will you get 155? 153, 155. You got 155 here. You got it between this and this. So you see, you gave it to you at the very top pivot point. After that the market has fallen. Okay. So this can give you a good pivot. Now there is one rule to take a trade in this. Now it was a uptrend, did a low break, took a trade and put a stop loss of high and put a take profit of 2:1. So if you look at this, you will not get so many points in this, but get some points. Like it was at 35.67, and this is your 34.82. You are getting 6,070 points. Now let's see the second next pivot point. Look, this is a good pivot point of yours. 134 degrees. So again, you went here. Now what it is saying is that you should get a pivot point at 134. 134 degrees. We know that whenever it comes to 134 degrees, we have to be ready for a pivot. This one. Look at this. Here it gave a pivot point of 133. Because the next day you have 136. So on this Friday itself, you took a trade on high break, since the market is in downtrend. You took a high break, here your trade initiated at 33.87, and this went up till 36.33. Means you would have got a profit of 300 points. Okay. Now let's look at the next. This is 69 degrees. 69 degrees. Here you see, this is a 69-degree angle. 67, 69. This is the angle here. So, this was an uptrend. For a downtrend, you should have done a low break within 1 or 2 days. Here, there was no low break. So we could have left this trade. We got a setup at 69 degrees, we were ready, but we had to wait market to give direction. If the market wants to go down, it had to low break, while it did a high break, so we left this trade. Now let's look at this. Here there was a pivot, because the market went up a little, but there was a pivot and angle was 56 degree. Let's look at 56 degrees. It's not like I have cherry-picked trades. You can go on chart and backtest yourself. I will show you many other trades. 56 degrees, 56 degrees, 52, 55, 56. Here, it gave a pivot point. We knew that it was going to come here at 56, we did a high break, we put a stop loss here, we could have enjoyed a rally. So, 56 here, this setup goes on for 1 or 2 days. Now it gave a pivot point, 35 and 34. We can say 35, because the pivot was at 35. Now let's look at 35 here. 35, look at this. This was a pivot point. It did a low break since it's uptrend, so we enter short trade and made profit. Thanks for watching. Comment which symbol you want. I will do a back test for that too. Or I will figure out its setup. It's not like I am doing this for Sun True Node. Maybe it will work for Sun Saturn. You can do it for Sun Saturn too. Try different setups. Try your setup. It is good for that. You can make a good profit. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Share it with your friends. Subscribe.